All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start it off. Slope, intercept form is non-proportional. Y is equal to mx plus b, where slope is my m and the b is y. Intercept, where the y-axis and the line meet at 0, comma b. Direct variation is proportional, and I know this because it's y equals kx. There's no b. In order to find k, my slope, it's going to be y over x. My little hints for non-proportional, I know that means it does not go through the origin. And for proportional, I know that means it does go through the origin. Slope of a line. Slope of a line, I know, is equal to rise over run on a graph, which is the change in y over the change in x. I also know that even though this says y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, I can get easily confused when I look at the points. So I need to remember this is going to be x1, this is going to be y1, this is going to be x2, this is going to be y2. Next line, we have circumference of a circle. I know that I don't really use this unless it's surface area. But just in case, I'm going to remind myself, the radius goes halfway, the diameter goes all the way. You normally want this one. Next, we have triangles. Off to the side, I know a triangle is equal to 180 degrees on the inside. And I know the exterior angle theorem of a triangle says the outside angle is equal to the two remote inside. 1/2 BH. Normally, this would go when it is a triangular prism. That's when we would use this formula, where the big B is the base of the triangle, or the base of the triangular prism, which is a triangle. Next, we've got rectangular or rectangle area. When I do rectangles, I'm usually going to use this when I have a rectangular prism. And that's where I need to know my rectangular prism, the base is either going to be at the bottom or the top. Okay, and that's when I use B times H. We don't use trapezoids in 8th grade math. Circle, I know I use area of a circle when I have a cylinder or when I have a cone. So that's going to be where the big B comes from. There. Also, with the rectangles, I know I use a rectangle. Sometimes they use rectangles to express the Pythagorean theorem. So what I would do is off to the side, I just make myself a note. Okay? Right there. Surface area. Well, I have surface area next. I need to remember that I've got two different letters. Capital B means area of base. Capital P means perimeter of base. My kids, remember that we PB the shape before we plug in our area, before we plug in our formula. Prisms, we have two types. We have triangular prisms, where the base, of course, is the triangle. Then we have rectangular prisms, where the base is the rectangles at the bottom and the top. Very important. Top and bottom are our bases. Lateral, your keywords are going to be sides, around, and label. For total, keywords maybe are going to be entire and whole. But you need to know the keywords for surface area would be cover, wrap, and things such as that. Okay? Volume, you need to know your keywords for volume are going to be capacity, hold, fill, and contain. And then when it says V equals big BH for a cylinder, because we don't use prisms, you need to remember that changes when needed into pi r squared H, where pi r squared is your big B. For a cone, because we don't use pyramids in 8th grade math, it'll be the same thing, except it'll be 1/3, because a cone is 1/3 the volume of a cylinder. And then again, pi r squared is still big B because it's got a circular base. And then for a sphere, you need to remember that cubed. Okay? That's all I have time for in this brain dump for day 3. That was 6 minutes. And notice how much stuff we got onto the book paper. Okay? So make sure you wrote all this down. A good part of preparing for STAR is repetition, which means repeating what you're doing, repeating your brain dump. And since I'm making these videos every day for your brain dumps every day, that repetition is getting it into your brain. Okay? Studies show that it takes 21 days to get to create a habit. And we want this to be a habit on your STAR exam. Okay? We want you to be able to drop everything on your STAR exam before you even take it.